Carol Williams, Culturally Responsive Teaching, Week 4 activity. My two topics: a critical, compassionate intellectualism for Latino students, raising voices above the silence in our schools, and The Shame of a Nation by Jonathan Kozol. I chose those two because there were some similar things that spoke to me in the book and in the article. Raising voices above the silence in our schools. This article depicts the sad reality of Latino children in our education system. Latino children are often reduced to a substandard curriculum and less likely to be prepared for college. Silencing Latino students is a common theme throughout our schools, which is referred to as school sponsored silencing. Students eventually believe academic success is unattainable for them. In Kozol book and lectures, um, he uses children's letters and personal stories passionately to paint a picture of the equality of the inequality of our minority students. Students are taught route learning, a form of memorizing opposed to critical thinking, like we teach children in preschool, the ABCs over and over again, one, two, three, over and over again. Music in arts, eliminated from schools because it is not measured on standardized testing. And national and regional industries are linking children to standards driven work based opportunities while in school. Companies are providing students with blue collar employment. So, meaning that um, a, a, a blue collar company would come into the school and begin to impose their curriculum on these students. And I don't think that this is going on in the suburbs. If it is, we're having companies like technology and engineer companies going in there and talking about their job and soliciting for future employment. So it's a big difference. Latino students often experience coursework that is remedial and unchallenging, benign at best, and dummied down at worst. So that was one of the things that struck me from the beginning, that the different sets of curriculum that we are offered our children opposed to a appropriate curriculum, an appropriate curriculum. So, I mean, as a parent, you and I, we want schools with strong and rigorous curriculums. We want teachers who challenge kids to master it and enough funding to make it a reality for their children and for our children. It breaks my heart when I see a school that has all of the state of the art equipment and technology, clean classrooms, and variety of food at lunch, and then you go to a school, low income school, and their computers are broke, and like we saw in the video, there's no swimming pool, and things like that, and they wonder why they don't have the same amenities. And then to make matters worse, it's an ending cycle of trouble that the children are getting into because of any type of social or socioeconomic problems that they may happen. I mean, the backgrounds, their diverse backgrounds that the teachers and the administrative are not connecting to, so they're not addressing it. And the only thing that they can do is suspend the child. So it's just a never ending circle of disappointment. So another thing that raises that spoke to me was this a study, a class that the students did. Uh, it was a social justice education course. The experience with the students were, what the article said, were troubling and encouraging. But during the student photo presentation on the topics related to a critical study of their educational experience. So they gave the children disposable cameras and told them just to take everyday pictures, take pictures of everything that you see. So one young lady, I think it was Katie Diaz, it's in the article, she took a picture of the students in the shop class. And the only thing it was were children of Latino children. So going to the passage, what she said, in advanced placement classes, students are always being challenged, always using your brain. You are always moving a step ahead. And how critical can Autoshop be? And I don't see any difference between the people here and the people in AP classes except race. So, with that being said, and the difference is that teachers of high track classes were more likely to emphasize such behaviors as critical thinking, independent work, active participation, self direction, and creativity. But at the same time, teachers of low track classes were more likely than others to emphasize students' comfort, students getting along with one another, working quietly, being punctual, and conforming to classroom rules and expectations. The culture of substandard curriculum and low expectations of minorities has resonated throughout this course. Jonathan Kozel explains how inner city schools offer sewing classes opposed to AP classes. So we're talking one is offering sewing classes and we're talking shop classes, but what are the suburban schools offering? The schools in the suburbs, what are they offering? What type of classes are they offering? It's just something to think about. And again, that stood out to me. So, in conclusion, our minority children's voices has been silenced. Our problems are larger than substandard curriculums. It In the article Raising Voices Above the Silence in Our Schools in Jonathan Kozel's book and lectures, and the similarities are remarkable. Both the book and the article refers to oppressing our children through a form of silence. Both demonstrate the remedial curriculums and classes that are not offered to white students, such as sewing in shop classes, and also each mirrors the disconnect of cultural diversity and low expectations that we have of our children, of our students. But my question to you, how can we solicit and entice caring, diverse, and qualified teachers to inner city schools? Two, what will it take to change the mindset of stereotypes that we have placed on our minority students? Thank you so much.